Hi, I'm Erik, and this is Adventures in Golf. And for this episode, we've traveled to Northern California to see what happens when you mix equal parts historic golf course architect, a secret social club, massive redwood trees, and a family-owned business, and spread that out over 9 of the funnest golf holes I've ever seen. The answer? Well, I think it's the reason we came to golf in the first place.
Welcome aboard.
If you could envision the biggest living thing on Earth, that's what a redwood tree is. It's the largest living thing on Earth.
In the morning, we get up and we go to our jobs. Gaylord Schaap's job is different than most. For Gaylord, this is his life's work. It's not just a pro shop or a golf course. His day-to-day grind is more than just bringing out the carts or stocking the range balls. Northwood Golf Club is what he will leave behind. Long after he's gone, the Redwoods, these, quote, biggest living things on Earth, will remain to watch over the garden that his grandfather cared for, that he cared for, and one day his son will care for.
I've been here since about 1980, and the reason I like it is it's not just one thing, it's everything. So you're a business manager, you're customer relations, you're in sales, you're in construction, you're in farming, and I used to joke with people. And before marijuana was legal, they used to say, "What do you do for a living?" And I look at them with a straight face and say, "I grow grass." You know, they'd go, "Whoa, one of those guys, huh?"
How would you describe Northwood Golf Club?
Well, it's really one of a kind, a unique experience. There are courses that you would love to play, but you're not hankering to go back and play it a second time right away. This course you could play every day and not get tired with it. And I think that is really the uniqueness of Northwood.
When making a golf show, you always want to get a tour of the course from the person who knows it best. In this case, it's Gaylord.
First hole, straight down and dogleg left.
He shows me the first tee and the 9th hole, the beginning and the ending of this course. And between them lies a special plaque memorializing those captivated most by Northwood's spell.
Tom Skanes used to work at Bohemian Grove.
Do you know many of these people?
I know all of them. Mike Freitas and his son both passed away, both good customers of ours. Jim Wilkins was a marshal of ours.
You know all of those names?
Yes, I've been here that long, I've probably know every one of them. Here's my dad. He was one of the original owners of the course. He passed away in 2007. Dedicated to all those who treasured the quiet beauty and subtle challenge of this course, the majesty of the Redwoods, and the fellowship of this game we love, Northwood Men's Golf Club. And then a quote from Alistair MacKenzie, "Mortals should bow to the inexorable law of gravity."
So what do you think that means?
What goes up must come down.
Interesting. Was MacKenzie talking about a golf ball or about life itself? These kinds of conversations don't seem so surprising on a golf course like this. Your life experiences feel small next to trees that are dozens of times taller and hundreds of years wiser. The size of your imprint on the world is immediately shrunken and at the same time somehow magnified as well. Northwood's 9 magical holes lie in a seemingly endless grove of redwood trees. Unassuming in its location, you might drive right by without even noticing it. But once here, there's no denying its presence.
Coming in the morning, dude, when you look down 7 and you got the fog breaking through the trees.
Beautiful. Nowhere in the world are you going to find a more
Heaven,
beautiful
dude.
golf course that you do right here. I love it.
I know, look at that, I got goosebumps.
I love it.
Like, we're out here golfing in the Redwoods. How many places in the world can you say you do that? So, yeah, it's the perfect little course, the perfect energy.
A lot of people describe golf as a kind of a semi-religious experience. It's a soul-fulfilling experience. It's been an experience that I feel I've been giving to people, an opportunity to come out here and play in the Redwoods. It's been more than just a job. It's just been kind of a lifestyle, and it's been a good lifestyle.
I came to Northwood to exhale. I mean, sort of catching your breath and like taking a deep breath and a longer breath out. That's exactly what I came here to do.
It's magical. It's just a wonderful place with the Redwoods and going in and out. Not that I'm ever in the Redwoods.
Northwood is just 90 miles north of San Francisco, the birthplace of the hippie. And that may not be a coincidence. The vibe here is 100% summer camp, friendly, and all are welcome. Everyone here seems to know everyone else here. And if you don't, that can easily change by the end of the round. The challenges the redwood trees present start on the first tee, where there is often the added pressure of an audience. It's also the first time you realize why the course has the nickname Knockwood.
For me, the most noticeable, unusual part doesn't have to do with the golf course or the trees. It's like a vibe.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you. Yeah. It's a vibe. Now that's what makes it so hard to explain. It is what it is. But if you give people the freedom kind of to enjoy their vibe within all the other vibes, it works.
It's that freedom that draws so many people to play Northwood. Some just want to play 9, some want to bask in the redwoods, and some come for the course's heritage.
This is our sister course down in Monterey, Cypress Point.
You called it our sister course.
Well, it's a MacKenzie course.
That's not a lot of courses can say that.
No, that's right.
Yes, you heard that right. Northwood has something in common with Cypress Point, Royal Melbourne, Augusta National Golf Club, New South Wales and Royal Adelaide in Australia, the Meadow Club, Pasatiempo, and countless others. They are all courses designed by Dr. Alistair MacKenzie.
I heard that it was one of the earlier MacKenzies.
Well, it might have been. I'm not a real MacKenzie historian.
If you're a fan of MacKenzie, this probably makes you, like me, pause for a moment. If I owned a MacKenzie golf course in the middle of the Redwoods, I would be touting its royal lineage for all to hear. But interestingly, that's not how Gaylord sees it. What's more important to him are the trees and the people who come to play amongst them. The course is merely a backdrop, a stage.
I enjoy going out and talking to the customer and kind of feeling out why they're here. A lot of them for the first time, a lot of them because their friends said, look, if you ever get up to the river, you got to play that course. It'll blow you away. And then a lot of people that you just recognize from when they were 6 years old. Now they're 20 years old coming back with their girlfriend.
So this raises a bit of a question. Do people come here for the MacKenzie heritage, or do they come for the awe-inspiring trees?
What have you heard about Northwood?
I know it's Alistair MacKenzie. He's like, I can't name very many golf architects, but I've heard of him.
I don't know anything about the design or how to play golf, but it's a gorgeous spot.
I didn't know that was the same designer as Augusta.
No, I didn't know that.
They don't even know that they're playing a gem.
Correct.
Alistair MacKenzie course. They don't even know.
Oh, the trees and the beauty and the birds, and it's just gorgeous. I just love it.
What I've learned and find fascinating is that Northwood seems to be equal parts pilgrimage and daily routine.
That was a practice.
On any given day, you'll find people who just want to get into the game of golf with their friends in a beautiful outdoor location. Or someone like Morgan, who's playing alone on a quest to play 36 different MacKenzie courses in his 36th year. So Northwood brings all these different types of people together for a very unique golf experience that's rare to find at a public course, and I'd say impossible to find at a private course.
Most MacKenzie clubs are privately owned. They have a huge budget, and we've been able to be a public golf course and get by with very average green fees, but people love it.
Was it always going to be 9?
Yeah, well, there was some talk about bridging across the river to some land on the other side of the river and putting in another 9 and making it 18. But that was just fantasy. It really never got off the ground. So it was always 9 holes. In fact, it was a little bit longer when the property around the course was developed. They had to shorten some of the tees. They didn't mess with the greens, but they shortened some of the tees. But it was always 9.
A public golf course designed by the same guy as Augusta National. If you're not scratching your head, then rewind and turn the volume up. What's going on here? Most golf business people would turn this into 18 holes, charge a premium, and likely make it private. The fact that it's 9 holes is what keeps it under the guise of normality. It's like an invisibility cloak. People will dismiss it because it's only 9 holes, never knowing it contains royal blood in its roots. To have such a rich history exist in such a casual way is almost a complete oxymoron, and it's something that needs to change in the game of golf. The perception that, quote, public means that it's not a good course, or that its maintenance is bad, or that you can't get a tee time, or its design is boring, has nothing to do with the actual definition of the word public, which is defined as, quote, of or concerning the people as a whole, which describes Northwood's mission to a T. And I would give most of that credit to Mr. Gaylord Schaap.
You know, like anything in life, you have a period of time that you can do something, and then you got to pass it on. If it has value and it has lasting value, someone is going to take it and run with it, just like you did. And that's what I'm hoping that, you know, that'll happen here.
These are second growth redwoods. Out here they're roughly 140 feet tall, so they're not the biggest ones in the world, but you know, just that, walking down a fairway with those big redwoods towering on both sides of you is just an experience like nothing else. You know, it's just awe-inspiring really, especially in the mornings. There's not many redwood forests left in California. This species of redwoods only grows in the coast of California and southern Oregon. So there's not, most of them have been logged in about the 1870s to the early 1930s, I believe. So there's not many stands of redwoods left that are this large.
Are trees good for a golf course?
They're good and bad. It's nice aesthetically, but it's tough to grow grass under those. You know, they block the sunlight naturally, and they also compete for the water resources of the course. You know, I think one mature redwood tree can use about 500 gallons of water per day. So that's a lot of water. Not to mention we have all the turf that needs to be watered, so.
How much water does a blade of grass need?
I have no idea. I can, about 7 minutes.
There you go.
I just put that timer on the clock and let it run.
You can talk to any golf course superintendent, and they'll tell you that the worst thing for a golf course is trees. There shouldn't be trees on a golf course, but we've managed to coexist with them for almost 50 years ourselves. So there's something about them that we learned to live with.
They have a lot of sprawling roots, so they're more wide root based than down deep in the ground. So they're always trying to spread out farther and farther, and that they come right onto the greens, under the greens. Sometimes when you're cutting a cup in the morning, you'll hit a root and you can't even put the cup cutter down all the way. You have to just pick another hole. They're there. You know, the roots are everywhere.
And it's the roots of the course that I'm most interested in. Faced with so many challenges, why build a course here at all?
The Bohemian Club is a men's group, and they own a 4,500-acre parcel across the river from us. And the best we could piece together is that there was interest in building a golf course here, and it was originally going to be a campground. And so once the Bohemians caught wind of it, they said, hey, you know, it'd be a great place for a golf course. Well, golf was kind of an elitist sport back in the 20s, and so I must have taken some convincing to get the property owner to put in a golf course, but they did.
You can see the original MacKenzie bunkering sand, as traditional MacKenzie as you're going to get around a green.
So that's the 6th green?
Yeah. Now, when we got the course, it wasn't in that condition. That's just after it opened.
Your family bought this course in the 70s, and what was special about that?
Yeah, so my grandpa and a few of his friends bought it in 1970. It was up for sale. And then they didn't, you know, no one knew anything about the course besides it was just a golf course, so, you know, they just bought it, and then it was found out later that it was a MacKenzie course through some archives, so initially we didn't have any idea that it was a MacKenzie course.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's like...
Just stumbled on a MacKenzie course. My family has been here on both sides, my mom and dad's side, for 5 generations. I'm the 5th generation. My grandpa was a doctor in this area. He was actually in World War II. He had his own private practice, and in 1970, the golf course here came up for sale, and him and a few of his friends decided to purchase the golf course. So that's how it all started.
What's your favorite part of the golf course?
Well, you know, I hate to say it, but it's the maintenance building. I mean, that's kind of the heartbeat of the golf course. That's where it all happens. That's where, you know, we start early in the morning and things get going, and that's where the course is kept up from. That's where everybody stops by. It's right by the 5th green. It's where everybody stops by to say hello. And it's where you're relaxed. You're not expected to be dealing with the public. You know, you've already taken their green fees, got them set up to go. So to me, it's kind of a nice respite and hangout from the business aspect of it. And there's always things to fiddle with, to tinker with, and a lot of inspiration.
Tell me about your dad.
My dad, he's a hard worker. It's been his whole life. Be right back. Let's get some water.
Take your time.
There's more to golf than just the golf. There's the history, the traditions, you know, all the things that we've seen as golf has evolved that makes it what it is. So it's really, I really feel proud to be part of that experience and part of that business and that tradition, and do my part to promote it.
Are you getting emotional?
A little bit, yeah.
Why?
Well, just because it's, you know, something you're asking some things I haven't thought about for a while. So.
Yeah, he's a hard worker. He's, you know, he's the rock that keeps this course going. Pays all the bills. He's out there every day, long hours.
You know, I don't want to insert my story into whatever's happening here, but I am relating on some level with this, like, there's some feeling of, like, you know, do you give your life to a place?
Yeah, you do when your grandfather started it. I mean, last year was 50 years. You know, it's a lot.
And so today, almost 100 years after the course was created, I'm finally going to play it with 2 pillars of the community. James, a longtime member with perhaps the most holes in one on the golf course, and Vern, the head pro. I've been walking all over this course for days, wondering, what am I going to hit on this 290-yard opener with a harsh dogleg left at about 190 and trees lining both sides? It's not going to be a driver, probably not even a 5-wood. We could go with a 4-iron, but I'm kind of thinking 2 9-irons.
I think it's probably a little bit presumptuous to just show up in Northwood and try to drive the first green, isn't it? Or is that what you try to do?
I don't.
Well, I would take experience.
I hit a 7, wouldn't play it safe.
I like that.
Ooh, that's a little left.
Well, I went with 4-iron. and it didn't really work out for me.
I hit a tree. Is that in bounds?
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, so far, 100% of my balls have hit a redwood tree up here.
Very good.
All right, well, if you need me, I'll be in the trees.
Sometimes you can get from here through there.
Oh.
See, it's like an arch.
Oh, there's an angle, an arch. I have found an archway. I hit another tree. How many trees can you hit? I don't know if you can see the window that we're looking through here, but it's pretty tight. I mean, this is going to be comical. Maybe it already is. So the trees aren't just trees. They're trees with teeth, because underneath the trees is about a foot or two of ball-eating paraphernalia. For me, a stat that I'm looking for today is what is the most amount of trees that anyone's ever hit?
I don't know what that record is.
Yeah, well, we're here to break it.
Okay.
I'm just gonna chip away at this course from now on. I'm not trying anything interesting.
Nice swing.
Thanks. Yeah.
That
yeah.
sets you up perfectly for the next shot.
It is the ball. My ball flight is way too high. I'm on the fourth hole, already more over par than I was the entire round that we played the 2 days ago. So.
Come on. Boom. Yeah. Birdie, man. Birdie, man.
James, man, he's a character. He's one of the true old-timers that are left out here at Northwood, and he's starting to slow down a little bit. He used to play maybe 4 or 5 times a week, and now he's maybe down to 3.
Just comes to me, man.
Just comes to me, man.
I think he's had 4 or 5 hole-in-ones out here, and yeah, he's pretty lucky.
Do you think, James, the mustache has anything to do with the hole-in-ones?
Oh, totally.
Okay, good, because...
But they got to be the right color.
The right color. Mine's not the wrong color?
Oh, yes, sir.
All right, I'll dye it, whatever I gotta do, man.
Whoa.
There you go.
Man, Vern's been here as long as I've been alive, and then some, you know. It's, he's been, I think he was either the first or second pro that we've had. He's been here for many years, but he's an excellent golfer, a great friend, and he's a great guy.
No, I got this is fine. Is this special?
It's a big guy.
All right, fine, let's go.
There you go.
Trading clubs.
This is a great place to make friends. I mean, I have 2 guys, and one guy is the most liberal guy in the world, and the other guy is the most conservative. And every Saturday morning they come out here and they play golf. They would never do that in any other location because the golf is the more important thing.
What year did you last miss a fairway? It is unbelievable.
If you want to see the person for what they really are, play 18 holes with them, and you will have a good impression about that person.
Would 9 also do the trick?
Well, 9 you'd get half of the impression.
Just so casual.
I guess my role here, if you wanted to ask me that question, I'm like the conductor of the orchestra. You know, I just have to make sure that everybody's playing their instrument correctly. But I'm not playing anything. Right? I'm not performing. I'm just conducting. And I think that's the essence of it.
We had a storm. We had some redwood. We had a carver who wanted to carve redwood. He asked us what we would like in return. He wanted to carve us something, and we sort of blurted out, how about some owls? Because that's kind of the bohemian symbol, and it ties us together a little bit. Probably could have picked a squirrel if they wanted. But anyway, he really got into it. He carved this one, That one's on a stump that can be moved around. This one can be moved around.
He forgot to show you guys the 2 secret L's. Do you see those? The back of the 9th green. There's the one that's sitting behind the green, and then up in the trees, there's 2 more under the limbs.
And we're probably going to end up doing a few more, but we don't want to overdo it.
What an insane tee box. It actually does feel like the 18th at Augusta. You know how they have that photo with all of the stuff? It's like a chute.
Coming out of the chute.
Yeah. If you've ever wanted to play the 18th at Augusta, skip it. Head up to Monte Rio. Vern will give you a lesson at the same time. Bob's your uncle.
There it is. Success.
Tell me about Amen Corner.
Amen Corner, what, 7, 8, and 9? Yeah, man, 7 long par 4, little dogleg right, couple bunkers into the green. It's a difficult hole if you're on the right side of the fairway. You don't have a shot at the green. Number 8, it's very, very confusing to the mind when you're up on the tee box there. It looks easy, but you hit that shot, it's coming down the hill, and you know it's hard to perceive the true yardage.
Ace can, bud.
There you go. Long and left is what we're looking for.
You know, you can use a rangefinder, but that doesn't account for the hill.
How good was that?
It felt good, though.
Get a picture of that one up there. Everybody needs to know that one.
Number 9, man, that's the toughest finishing hole in Sonoma County. I'd put my money on it. It's a long par 5. You've got to carry about 200 yards just to get up the hill off the tee.
Is that a war cry? What was that?
That was because so many years I couldn't get up that hill.
Uh-huh.
And then I bought this and some other stuff, and I up on the hill.
What other stuff did you buy, James?
I don't know.
I think I got to hit one more because I got a swing tip that I want to apply. Is that going right?
Every hole on every golf course tells you a story. And as we play this final hole at Northwood, which is tighter than most state highways and longer than 5 football fields, I'm faced with the reality that this beautiful and special story is about to be over. Far too soon.
Thank you, Vern. That was great.
Welcome back. Come back again.
Oh, we will be back.
James, thank you.
James, thank you. That was really great. Thank you. That was fun.
Thank you, James.
In golf, as in life, we end where we began. And I don't mean the first tee. Before saying goodbye, James wanted to show us something that he made with his hands.
Do you think about this every time you walk off the 9th hole?
Not every time, but there have been times that, thank you for asking me, because it's, I don't know. This is the course. This is the course.
What James is referring to is one of the great axioms of golf, especially the public kind. When he says, this is the course, what he means is all of us combined make this course what it is. And while the names on this plaque represent those who have passed on, it could just as easily contain all of our names, because we leave something of ourselves behind when we visit a place. James is the caretaker of this memorial for now, but just as trees fall in a forest and golf balls land on a green, we humans are also subject to the inexorable law of gravity.